Good morning. My name is Phylicia Makhubele, and I'm coming to you live from South Africa. I am the founder and the brains behind Are We Transforming platform, which I have actually thought about or established since 2019, but it has actually found its way to the public in June 2021. I am a mother of one, and I'm currently working for the public service in South Africa. But I must put this disclaimer to indicate that everything and anything that I'm doing here, or any ideas or any invitation to any person who's going to participate in this platform, has got nothing to do with my employer, who is the public service within South Africa. One of the reasons that I started this platform is actually my exposure in the public service for quite some time, more than 10 years that I've been working within the public service. And I've worked in different portfolios. I've worked in different departments within the public service of South Africa. One thing that I've identified was that government actually speaks to itself. Whatever seminars that will be invited will be actually to the public servants or people that actually understand what public service is all about. There hasn't been much done to allow the public to engage about what is it that they want, what is it that they would want to see, what kind of policies they would want to see. The public participation which the Constitution, for instance, of South Africa requires the government to actually implement is not actually implemented, in my view, according to the way, or it doesn't provide a platform that will allow the public to be able to give inputs. So when I was working and doing everything that we're expected to do as public servants, I said to myself, what is it that one can do in order to allow the public, not only in South Africa, but actually in Africa as a whole, to have an engagement? I was actually privileged to at some stage be a project manager of dealing with issues of xenophobia. And one thing that I've realized is that people do not necessarily have information about, for instance, Pan-Africanist related issues or Pan-African related issues. I actually had to also read about those. So the platform is actually aimed at providing ordinary citizens in Africa and also in South Africa, since I'm a citizen in South Africa, to engage, to find solutions, to identify problems or gaps, and allow the public to actually participate and be able to identify solutions. One thing that I've also realized is that we talk about constitutional values and principles day in, day out. We hear people talking on TV about constitutional values and principles. We hear people talking about Ubuntu, for instance, in South Africa. But there isn't much that is done to educate people on the ground for them to understand what does constitutional values and principles mean to them. It is good and well for those who are educated and those who understand exactly what is it that these constitutional values and principles are. But we have not, I think, as those who are private to have this information, engage much with the public and educate them. There is now talk about issues of land being given back to the state or being given back to the people, but there isn't much that is done to educate the people about what does it actually mean. I can have my views about how this whole land issues is going to pan out. We talk about professionalizing of the public service in South Africa. Does professionalizing of the public service actually mean only about the, skills development? For me, it doesn't. So I believe that this platform it has already started. It will create a situation where lay people on the street, those who do not have access to the upmarket TV programs like in South Africa, your DSTV, the channel 404 and 403 and 405. And I think there's an assumption that because those engagement are taking place in those TV programs, that people are actually aware. People are actually privy to those, whereas it's like a selected few, probably middle class up, who are actually accessing those programs, those engagements, those round tables. And there is like high level language that is actually used, English that one will have to even take a dictionary to even understand some of the words that are being used. So I don't think as Africans we are going down to the level of our people who are not necessarily understanding the jargons or the words that we use in government about programs that are currently taking place. And I don't think we're actually involving them to understand what does it mean to be a citizen. Now, even simple as what is government and what is the role they have to play as owners of the public funds. I don't think we educate them enough to understand that they're actually the bosses. I'm a citizen too. Before I'm a public servant, I'm actually a citizen, but I'm saying we because I'm still part of the public service, which I'll eventually leave at some stage. But we do not educate them enough to understand that everything and anything that is actually being done is for them. When they say government for the people, by the people, it means everything that government is doing is actually for the people, the public, and the public has got a bigger role to play in making sure that these things are done. And there's issues of accountability which the public is actually supposed to hold. I read somewhere, I think it was a quote by Mail and Guardian, where it said there is the public is actually quite angry. Just to paraphrase, we are an angry nation. We are, as South Africans, for instance. But when you look at Africa also, I remember in Nigeria there was some uprising about concerns which were being raised, and even in South Africa people were marching to the embassies of Nigeria, for instance. It's because people are tired of looking at political office bearers as bosses, whereas the actual boss is actually the public. So this platform is creating a situation where we'll have an engagement. The idea of having this engagement is not to complain, but to identify areas that we can improve. We are looking at, I'm saying we, even though I'm still alone. The only partnership that I have is actually with Visible Change TV, that has agreed to assist in making sure that the journalism side of things and also the technical side of things, in terms of the videos being uploaded and also being in a professional, done in a professional manner like now, is in a way that people can actually relate, or people can be able to view in a manner that is more professional, so to say. So I think there is the idea. I was still saying that the idea that one has is to have a situation where, for instance, if they say labor tenants are not aware of the rights for them to have access to land. They do not know that having access to land is actually respect and dignity. They do not know that it's actually part of the founding values of the Constitution of South Africa to have human dignity, which actually also include issues of access to land. I don't have the expertise to talk about the land issue. what do? I will call somebody who has, like for instance, we invited Professor Richard Levin to come and talk about, who is a South African, special master for labor tenants, to come and talk about these issues. And after talking about these issues, we would already identify, for instance, that if people are not aware of the human rights, of the human dignity value as the founding value of South Africa, in the South African Constitution, then there is a need for them to be educated. Who is supposed to educate them? Because the government may not be in a position to do that. Okay, NGOs are supposed to do that. Okay, the current NGOs are not probably aware of those kind of information. What do we do? Identify a group of young people who are doing political science and doing law, and put them together, source funding, and let them do the advocacy campaign on constitutional values and principles, and on human rights issues, in partnership probably with the Human Rights Commission if it's in South Africa. The notion of always having to let government be the one doing everything, whereas we can have an input as the public, or we can find a way of putting together people that can be able to assist in this regard. So this is basically what this platform is all about. If we are also looking at inviting people that can actually guide the young people on approaches to or careers to take other than the ones that we see. Questions like, why is it that it's taking too long for the startups, for instance, in South Africa? Why is it that people who are coming from other African countries are able to just come in and start a business just like that? What is it that we are not doing right? Creating a cross-pollination kind of a platform where people will learn from each other and be able to understand that the reason why a Somalian will come to South Africa and start a business is because this is how the approach, the education is done. They are taught to be entrepreneurs rather than to be employees. I think in South Africa we have been so much taught about being employees. Issues like, why is it that the homeschooling is now, for instance, for the elite? Is it not possible for government to find a way of assisting the unemployed teachers to start something that will become a homeschool program that will assist the kids while we're dealing with now COVID-19 issues, to assist the kids who are probably on a break and not going to school, to be able to to proceed with the curriculum and not miss out, so that when come exam time, they are also able to write exam, both of them, both those who are going to school on a daily basis, or they alternate. They go to school one week and the other week they are homeschooling, and those that were homeschooling this week, they go to school. So this is a platform where we think it's going to be an information hub and awareness place for people. Our audience is usually online people, but we're hoping that as COVID-19 goes dealt with, and there's immunity in the country or in Africa, we'll be able to engage on a one-on-one basis and also be able to visit. For instance, what we are doing will require people with journalism qualification, for instance, or researchers, or people who understand issues of socialism or social social science. I'm sorry. Those kind of people will actually form part of the program as we continue and grow and source funding. It's something that we believe is going to be able to assist. One of the projects that we're also looking at with Visible Change TV, the under Rise media and communication company, is that we're going to start also a newspaper that is called Are We Transforming? And we believe that as we grow and we do that, it will need journalists who are qualified. We would need people that will engage the people on the ground. Information that is being shared and solutions that are being shared are going to be actually put together and shared with different stakeholders in order for them to correct where there are wrongs, in order for them to improve. I think we have too much policies, too much information on the table, but not much is being done to make sure that there is implementation. I am sure, and I've already seen so much interest since we started. We have recorded one episode already, which is going to be shared on our YouTube channel, and we believe that out of that we'll be able to spark a whole lot of engagements, and we will be able to identify people that are going to assist those who are not probably currently employed. We'll get people that are going to talk about things that will assist those who are not employed, probably to see things differently instead of going to look for a job, but start something that will actually create jobs. So this is a platform, very exciting, that is going to make sure that as Africans we come together as a collective and find solutions. I always say to people, if you see something wrong, instead of complaining about it, better look for a way to correct it. So this is my way also of contributing towards my African my continent, and also my country, which is South Africa, towards making it a better place. I wouldn't want my son to grow up in a place where there's so much complaints but no solutions. So we're inviting you to be part of this platform and to engage as much as possible. Positivity always yields good results, but every time we complain and we see the wrongs, like when you watch this video, the only thing you're gonna be criticizing or looking at is the negative side of things. Oh, she didn't communicate well. Oh, she didn't say this English word well. It may not yield good results, but if we build each other and we identify areas where we can improve, I think we can go a long way. Let me appreciate and thank everybody that has already up to now contributed towards making this platform possible. To my partners, Visible Change TV, I really appreciate the platform. I think after 2019, when I started this thing and put it on paper and share it with one of the people that I thought would be able to assist in developing a proposal, and the next thing, that thing vanish, and when I call the person does not even pick up the call. But when I approached you and I spoke to you and explained, you just say, let's start this thing, let's run with it. So I really appreciate. You will not regret. And I've seen so many people that I've already approached showing so much interest, and I believe out of this we're gonna make a difference in people's lives and also in our country. They say we talk too much. This is not only a talk show, but it also an opportunity for us as a collective to build. So with this 20 minutes, I felt it is actually very important for me to indicate exactly what this platform is all about. I am Thembekile Makhubele. You can call me Tembi if you want, but I'll be your host for the Are We Transforming platform. Thank you so very much for watching.